What's up, fam? Welcome on to Tuesday Tea Time. I am Melanie Taimi, and every week we get to hang out and talk with amazing people in the world doing good, positive, creative things. This is just our way of trying to speak positiveness back into a world that's pretty broken up. So I hope you get an opportunity to join us today. We are going to be doing some cool stuff. I do want to mention that we are in the middle of our living room sessions, and it's been going all week. So at 6 o'clock every evening between 6 and 7, we're going to be talking about some engaging issues. We're going to be giving some worshipful thought. We're going to be praying. At 5:45 pre-sessions, there's going to be some really cool praise music from different churches around SoCal. So you don't want to miss out on that. All right. Make sure you join in with us. Secondly, this is the last week that I'm going to be posting this out towards my profile, my personal profile page. If you've been journeying with us for the last, 8 some odd weeks of just talking with people and having tea together, and you've really been enjoying it, I want to encourage you to go ahead and go over to our YouTube page, youtube.com /One House SoCal, and please subscribe, or just pop over to our Facebook page and like it, so that next week, even though we're not going to be on my page, we're going to be over there and you'll get to enjoy the rest of the time. We've got some pretty cool guests that'll be coming up in the future. If not, it's cool. We're just going to keep catching up on my profile page and seeing each other's life, but you won't be catching any more tea time. For some of you, you're probably like, thank the Lord. For others of you are like, yeah, man, I like this thing. It's kind of cool. I'm hanging out with Ick during the week. So yeah, pop over to our YouTube page or our Facebook and subscribe, and we'll rock together. Speaking of next week, even though we're not going to be on my profile page, we will be streaming out, as usual, tea time to our Facebook and our YouTube. Next week, we've got Dr. Courtney Ray, PhD in clinical psychology. She's going to be talking to us about mental health and faith and the times that we live in. So you're not going to miss out on her. She's pretty cool, rocking hard, young millennial, doing great things. And thank you, my friends. If you are just jumping on here, I want to thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. I love you guys. We broke 100 this weekend, so we've got a good amount, and it's continuing to climb every day. I want to invite you, if you haven't already, jump over there, subscribe, get up in here, and stay with us. Let's shoot for 1,000 and keep moving up for our YouTube channel. And that pretty much covers all of that. A thank you to all of you 140 some odd people that are subscribed, and for those of you who are going to keep subscribing with us. So this week, I'm really excited. This week, my friends, I get to interview the lovely, compassionate, amazing, beautiful, one of my superheroes in my life. Everyone gets to choose one or two superheroes that are living. She's one of them. She's just fantastic, man. Let me tell you, if you ever needed to be stuck on an island with one human being, which is a game we can all play, this would be my choice. Melanie Taimi, registered nurse at the White Memorial Medical Center. She works in the ICU, which is the COVID unit. Today, we're going to get down on that and talk about what life looks like for a registered nurse right now who's working with the COVID situation. So let's get on it. All right. Here we are with my girl, Melanie Taimi. What's up, Mel?
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Doing okay.
I am so blessed and thankful that you are joining us today, and we get to talk it up. So we usually talk regularly every day, but people don't get to see our crazy, quirky conversations. Today, they get a piece of what it's like to be in the Taimi household. Annie says, Melanie is the only reason I showed up today. So thanks, Annie, for nothing. God bless you. Yes, I am married to this human being, and we're gonna get rocking on a few questions. Mel, let's start here, Melanie. What are you drinking today?
I am drinking iced green tea.
Oh, nice. Louisa said, hey, don't y'all live together? Yes, Louisa, but every married couple needs a little time apart, so I drove to the office today. I'm rocking over here from our office studio. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you all on today. So, Mel, this is green tea, iced tea, green tea,
Iced green tea
iced green tea. It's nothing
that I'm
stronger.
drinking.
I want to. The people want to know. Is there something strong in there that we don't know about?
You won't never know.
All right. It's good to know. I want to keep my job. Fantastic. Very cool. Okay, so Mel, speaking of conversations and interviews, are you the kind of individual that does this very often? Do you enjoy public speaking or getting on things and talking in front of a bunch of strangers?
Not at all. I'm super cold and clammy right now.
You're doing great. For some reason, having you on, people think it's appropriate to make fun of me as a human being. So, Kevin just said, yeah, we get it, Mel. Icky can be much. Really, everybody. On a scale between 1 and 10, if 1 is like, man, this is not of the Lord Almighty, to 10, thank you, Jesus, for this amazing opportunity, where would you put yourself on a scale for someone who likes to do interviews and being in public and stuff like that?
I'd probably give it 10 backwards.
10 backwards. Oh, yeah, that's true. But you have such a really cool story to share, and you have such an experience that you can really share here with everybody. So I'm really excited that we get to go rocking on this right now as we talk about your life. Thank you so much for taking this time, Mel, and really being willing to share with us all the stuff that's happening, if that's cool. Donovan says, you are a superstar. And Annie says it's appropriate to make fun of Vicky at this time. Yuli says, you got this, Melanie. You've got this. Yes, Yuli, she does. I'm with you. So, Mel, if you would, can you just do me a favor and tell me, how many years have you been an actual nurse? Like, not just saying you're a nurse, but an actual certified nurse?
I've been a nurse for about 14 years now, since about 2006 in the same hospital.
Wow, in the same hospital since 2006, 14 years. But you've been around like the medical, the healthcare system for a long time because your mom actually worked at White Memorial as well, right? So like if you had to add those years in, how long have you actually been like around White Memorial Medical Center?
In the hospital system, probably 36 years now.
Dang, 36 years. That's like your whole millennial life. Oh,
yeah.
You millennials, you're so sweet. I love you guys. I'm a millennial too. I know. It's true. It's a real thing, honey. Let's not lie to the people, okay? So, okay, Mel, you are a registered nurse. You've been around the healthcare system for the majority of your life, if not your whole life. You've been here working. You are now working with the COVID unit at the White Memorial Medical Center. Let's just let's kind of walk about like what's your day like when nurses come in, you do your thing. And to be honest, if you're not in the medical field like me, the hospital has a lot of places that you're not allowed to go to. So you just kind of like when people disappear or nurses go someplace, we're like, they're going to that place. And we don't know what that place is. Like, are you guys having like a rave party down in the basement? Is there like some like, what do you guys do? What do you do?
When we disappear?
Sure.
From
like
your
when
room?
you disappear. Yeah, absolutely.
We go to the ground floor, have a party down there. No,
I knew it. I knew it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. These nurses aren't working. No, but really, where do you go? Like,
No.
You leave
If we're
the
not
room?
in your room, we're probably talking to the doctor, taking a break if we can, or charting on everything that we've done while we were in the room.
Yeah. So you're doing like charting. That sounds pretty exciting. I'm glad we got that out of the way. What does your mornings look like if you're driving in and you're getting in there? And I'm gonna reframe my shot here, so you guys are all welcome to check it out. I'm gonna pull the shot in a little bit so you can see me a little bit closer, and then you don't see all these dangly wires everywhere. But Mel, what do you do like in the mornings when you come in, especially now during the COVID times, right?
So before, we used to be able to just walk in, get our assignment, go get report from the oncoming nurse. Now, before we come in, we have to change into the hospital assigned scrubs and we have to don on all the PPE before we can get even into the actual hallway.
Dawn, is that like, are
Don.
you using
Oh,
Elizabethan, like King James Version talk with me right now? Like, I
yes.
dawned on my,
No, so
my,
don is like putting on all your PPE. PPE is your personal protective equipment, and taking it off is doffing. So it's
doffing.
on and off with a D in front.
I feel like we could bring the word doffing in. What do you all think out there? Doffing. How do you spell that? Dophing.
FF. DOFF. Off.
Doff. I feel like
I
that could
said
be like
off with D in front of it.
that could be something we could say. Yo, man, doff your shoes, son. Doff them. Like
Try
that.
it.
What do you guys think? I need somebody to go ahead and throw out there that use doffing in a very like urban context or a very modern way of saying something. Doff. Jason, welcome, man. Welcome to the house, and thank you, Jason. This is Jason's shirt from Kettering is representing right here, baby, right here. Doff. That's right, Tim. Doff. So yeah, so you get these days because of the COVID, you get in, you don on your stuff, and then you go visit your patients, or do you have to sign in, or is there a process there?
You clock in and then you go get your patient assignment and you get report.
Wow. And then the day starts for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These days have been pretty long with the COVID, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's getting very exhausting, more so than normal.
Yeah. Let's get to that nitty gritty, Mel. Listen, everybody, welcome for jumping in here. Thank you so much. Yes, doff your shoes, son. Doff your shoes. Doff that hat, bro. I need to doff it, but y'all don't want to see what's underneath. Hey, Lydia, welcome on. Let's get to the nitty gritty. We obviously are going to talk about the COVID-19 situation all the way through our time together today. But I want to get to some stuff right off the back, and let's just talk about that. Let's feel it out. Mel,
Yeah.
everyone's been kind of struggling through this stuff, and everyone has got kind of their own narrative, and depending on who you're listening to, or maybe what party speaks into your ear, you kind of like, everyone's been digging down on where they are. So I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is you and how you've been dealing with, as somebody who on an everyday basis meets head on with the COVID situation, and that someone who is dealing with it closely. How has COVID changed your work environment? How has it changed the way you've been dealing with stuff in the professional field, in the medical field?
So probably, I know that our ICU is pretty busy in general, but it's gotten a lot more busy and a lot more exhausting. We have to always constantly be aware of making sure we have the right PPE on to keep ourselves safe, to keep the negative patients safe, protected from the virus. But it's just getting to, it's just a lot.
Isn't it?
Right now. Yeah.
I actually have a couple photos, so I'm gonna just throw that up while you're talking. So this is what I like this picture a lot. So I want to show it to everybody here. This is what your face looks like after a day of. Now I know you can't see it here, so just keep an eye on the feed. It'll pop up soon. Of you wearing your PPE mask, right? Talk to us about that dent on your face. It's a beautiful dent, by the way. I'm into that kind of stuff, yo.
So the N95 mask that you wear, it's supposed to securely fit on your face, and I thought I'd be fine because my nose is pretty flat, but on the bridge of your nose is
and
where
a
it pushes
beautiful
a lot.
flat nose it is.
Thanks. But like right there is where it hurts, and depending on what kind of N95 mask we have or what supplies are coming in, there's different ones, but people have been you've seen the pictures where the Band-Aids or the little patches to protect that part, but it gets really sore. The last time mine was really tight, it was sore for like 3 days, and I've heard where it's starting to break down skin. And then the one across is from the facial shield that you wear around your head to give you more protection.
Rudy asks, how do you keep your family safe when it's time to go home? We'll talk. Thank you for asking that. We're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about that here in a bit. So keep those questions coming in, and as we can put it before you and before Melanie, she'll answer them as we go. So number one, you guys have to gown up and be donned with your gown the whole time.
The whole time
The
you're
whole
in the
time.
unit, yeah.
You talked about like how like the pants are like 90s MC Hammer baggy pants. Is this?
So you have the option of wearing the jumpsuit, but it gets really hot in there. So a lot of people have opted not to wear those. Just double gowning, making sure you're safe that way. Because if you're in the room for a long time, you get really sweaty. People have come out like drenched, have to change out their scrubs again because there's it doesn't breathe at all. So
Number two, you also said that patients tend to be more sick. Did you mention that?
yeah, so I feel like our cases now, because ICU is a critical care, you can't go any higher. So once you're in the ICU, you can be pretty sick. But with the COVID, we've been seeing a lot of really, really sick people, and I feel like if every day we have maybe like a code or a patient passing, so
Every day.
it's tough.
If you are watching, I just want you to like get this for just a second here, because Mel, you're saying some pretty daunting things, and the reason why I mention that is because most people don't deal with somebody with COVID, so you don't get to see this. Like almost every shift, someone is coding or someone is passing away.
Yeah,
That's got to be like, man, emotionally draining.
it is,
Yeah.
but like you don't ever want to lose that empathetic part, but it does hurt, and it's hard to have to keep dealing with that and keep having to recover.
It's a good thing you have an amazing husband. I hear this guy rocks, man. No? You're such a... Ladies and gentlemen, we are with the hater, Melanie Taimi, registered nurse at the White Memorial Medical Center, doing fantastic work, loving and inspiring and caring for people. So if I heard you correctly, Mel, the COVID patients are still coming in on a really regular basis. Is that correct?
Yeah, we haven't seen an actual decline per se, but just a steady flow. And with everything reopening slowly, even though it's slowly, we still like brace ourselves for this oncoming surge of people that could possibly come in.
Please keep that in mind as you're thinking about what you're going to be doing in your faith communities when you gather back together now that the beaches are open and stuff. Obviously, that's not problematic. What's problematic is when we interpret that as, bah, we've beaten this thing, it's fine, because obviously, according to Mel and the situation, people are still coming in regularly with COVID. And
They're still coming in. There's still no cure. They're working on a vaccine, but it's not here yet.
yeah,
So
it's not here yet, people. Just hold on in there. Just hold on in there. We're not quite at the promised land. This is what happens when you try to get into the promised land before the promised land arrives. Then we all get messed up, people. Stay together. Let's stay together, all right? So also, you've been saying the ICU, even though it is normally busy, it's even more busy than ever. Is that correct?
yes.
And anything else that has changed in your workflow since you've been there?
Just being busy. Yeah.
Yeah, you are a pretty busy human being. Okay, let me ask this. How has it changed your home life? Like, has your home life, and Rudy just asked this question just a little bit ago, so I'm gonna come back around to that. How has your home life changed due to the COVID situation and you having to be there on a regular basis?
Yeah. So in the very, very beginning, when we started having to isolate and when I had to go back to work after a vacation, I tried to keep myself isolated in the room as much as possible. Thankfully, we have showers in our lounge, so I'm able to take a shower and get, clean off before I come home. So I feel a little bit more safe coming home. But I know sometimes I might come home extra late. I kind of linger a little bit because it's heartbreaking coming home and the kids are running to you, saying mommy, mommy, and wanting a hug, and I'd have to like block them off. Like I remember my mom coming home from work when I was young and us excited to see her, and we'd like try to come and hug her and she'd like block us off, and that image just stuck with me. So I kind of linger and wait, even if it's in the driveway, to wait till they go to sleep so I won't have to like disappoint them saying like I can't give them a hug. But
forget your kids. What about your husband? I be knocking them kids. Like, get out of my way. I gotta see my wife. What? You gave me the straight arm? What? You know, people need some love, man. We hate to be rejected, Melanie.
Yeah, it's hard.
Absolutely.
Like having to try to isolate in the room by myself was really, really tough for me. Yeah. So I know a lot of strong nurses who've been able to send their kids away to be taken care of by someone else. I don't think I'd be emotionally okay with all of that. I know I want them safe, so I do my best to keep my distance as much as possible, and because the kids used to sleep with us, so it's hard from going to like crammed space, 4 of us in one bed, to just me by myself.
Don't lie. Do not lie on this line right now, Melanie. Tell the truth. You love that big bed for yourself that we isolate you in, because those things are like little moles on me still. And I pray one day I can get some isolation in me too. Praise the Lord. But it's true. You do miss that warmth that you have together, and you can't be that close with the ones you love. So Eric Miguel asked a great question. Eric, we're going to get around to that. Are healthcare professionals able to get PPE? And that's one of the questions that I'm going to deal with here with Mel. But we're going to go ahead and just move down a little bit, and as we do, we'll answer those. What is your favorite part of work? Pre-COVID, Mel, what is your favorite part of the job?
My favorite part would probably, like in nursing in general, is just to actually do patient care. I love doing patient care, the bedside care. I know a lot of people like get tired of it, but I honestly really enjoy it. So I don't enjoy the charting so much because it takes me away from that. Yeah. But just having to actually have conversation with my patients and ask them what they need and what I can do for them is really the joy for me.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I am with registered nurse Melanie Taimi, who works in the COVID unit at the ICU for White Memorial Medical Center, rocking a good job. As you just heard, she's not big on charting, but she really loves her job because of the patient care she gives. This is a quick shout out to the ICU unit at the White Memorial Medical Center. ICU unit, we love you. Great job. Woohoo. Mel, give them a shout out real quick.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my awesome team and rotation and my awesome manager, I think this would be a lot harder. So they're the reason why I'm still there. It's been 14 years. I love the people I work with, and I couldn't imagine a better team.
Yes, that was for you. I see you. Monkey Steel asked, hey, are you guys in the same room? Pan the camera around. You did not, bro. Let me tell you, you did not want to see what's happening.
We're keeping it here.
Around both of these rooms. We're not in the same place. And Lydia asked the question of how the community can be more supportive to you, Mel. I'm guessing specifically to you, but generally as well for nurses. What are some things that the community can do that would be helpful, that would give you guys support? If you could think of anything.
That's hard. Probably, just keep your mask on, keep your distance. Try to keep that surge from coming to the hospital so we're able to still manage our patients without becoming overwhelmed and not get to the numbers like New York has. And
meals, free meals doesn't hurt at all, does it?
No, that's been nice. People have been bringing meals, so that's been nice too.
What kind of perks? I hate to call them perks, but they're kind of like little things that companies or businesses or organizations have been doing to help alleviate some of the stress that's put on you frontline healthcare workers. Has anyone done anything really nice for you guys?
Warehouse Shoe Store actually donated some shoes to all the COVID units. So that was nice of them to do that.
All right.
And
for the families?
a lot of
And for the families?
your feet are too big. They don't have your size.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hater Melanie Taimi is on with me today.
Just a lot of people have been like providing food again. Doctors have been treating us as well, so that's been really nice. What else?
Look, Hawaiian King. If you haven't eaten at King's Hawaiian, I need all of you to go out right now and give them some love, because they are giving a mad fat discount for all healthcare frontline workers.
Oh yeah, we're there almost once a week, couple times a week. So they've been doing 50% off
50%
for frontline workers till the end of this month. So get your paradise cake.
Our walls right now are made of Hawaiian bread. Let me tell you, we've been buying so much. We've got it's everywhere in our house because it's 50% off. I mean, the love and sacrifice that company did to just show some care and kindness to healthcare workers. I'm a winner. Danny Zelaya said, "Is Melanie single?" Danny Zelaya, you do not want me to
Still
step
married,
out of this
still
screen.
married.
That's right, girl. Be proud. Be proud. You got a handsome husband. I've seen him around. He's a good-looking fellow. So King's Hawaiian, if you're in the South Bay area and you happen to be a healthcare professional, or you just want to support them because they're giving such a great thing, go ahead and jump down there. They've got some great Hawaiian bread and a bunch of other pastries. Okay, so we've talked about things that you love about your job. Let's talk about what are some of the least favorite parts of your job?
Probably I really don't like cleaning oral secretions. I'll do it, but just I'd rather clean poop than dealing with that.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked that question. We went in too deep on that, literally and figuratively. That's too much. That's too much.
But also, I think the hardest part is probably would be like hearing family members crying over lost loved ones. Like that, the sound of that, I can empathize with that, and that just breaks my heart every time.
That is truth. That is truth. Back to the oral secretions. People, I just need to say this a few more times. Oral secretion, like that is not a glamorous thing. Like when you're watching these shows on TV, I know you millennials don't get it, but Gen Xers and baby boomers, you'll remember ER. You remember that show ER? I think it was in Chicago. Like people didn't come in and you didn't get to watch them do the oral secretion part. That just never came up very much, you know. Like I would have thought that dealing with like people that are a pain in the butt, that would be for me. Like, oh, like I can't do with that. How do you deal with individuals? And it's understandable, right? We come in there and we're feeling a certain way about life. We're scared about our health, maybe our loved one. So we're in our zone, we're in our tunnel vision, and then you come in and we're not considering your emotions. We're not worried about your struggles. We don't care about what's happening in your life. We want to fix us. So sometimes we can be jerks because of that. And then there's other people who they're just jerks. Like, that's just the way they are. Like, how do you do? I know.
You can't help that.
You can't help it. There's no medicine for that. You can't fix that mess. How do you, as a nurse, deal with that? Because I'm sure you have to deal with people's emotions and where they're at.
So probably I would say after the initial brunt of all of that, just taking a moment to realize that they're sick. They don't want to be there in the hospital, and they're scared, and we want them to go home as soon as possible as well. So
Absolutely.
Just that fear, I think, creates that in people.
Yeah, true. So I guess you could just kind of take that in and be understanding towards that and say, hey, you know what, we don't want you to be here either, right? I'd be like, look, we don't want you here either, yo. So, but that's probably not communicating it
No,
appropriately. No.
no.
What's up, Marcus? Good to see you on here, and thank you for joining us. All of you, thank you for joining us as we're talking with my awesome wife, who is a superhero not just to me, but to my children as well, as she shares her experiences working in the COVID unit. Nurse Melanie, Miss Hattie's asking, what is your ICU schedule?
So I work 12 hours, 6:30 to 7, but sometimes, and more lately, been getting out a lot later than that. But 3 days a week.
When you say 3 days a week, I think people like misconstrue that. They're like, well, I'm going to work 3 days a week. Let me tell you something. This lady leaves before the sun rises. Before 6, she's gone. And she's never home before 9:30 at night. But sometimes she comes cruising in at 12. And she's got to take a day to try to emotionally center herself and get back together. And I know I'm not you, but sometimes I got to be at your soapbox and just tell people, like, it's not 3 days and then I'm off relaxing. It's like 3 days and then I've got to come back and emotionally recover, right? Ooh, girl. And I just, man, I couldn't be you, man. Oh, mercy. Donovan asks, is there any positive trends happening right now in these cases?
Positive.
Yeah, is it trending up or down right now, or is it pretty steady?
Right now, we're getting a pretty steady flow of them, I'd say. So I know that there's a lot of different medications being used right now. All of them, good thing we have an awesome intensivist who keeps up to date with all the research that's been being done.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do the most up-to-date things, but again, it's all hopeful and there's still necessarily no cure. So just treating the symptoms and trying to get them out and home.
Jonathan said, explosive oral secretions. You're so sensitive. I want to say that again for everyone. Explosive oral secretions. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jonathan, for doing that for us. And then Lydia said, yeah, I'd love to bring over some food for you. You just name it, Melanie, and we'll be dropping it off. Hi, T3. Hi, Ria. Welcome on. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I am with the beautiful, compassionate Mrs. Melanie Taimi, registered nurse over at the White Memorial Medical Center ICU unit, which is the COVID unit down here. We will get to the question of the PPEs. So what do you do in your free time, your first day off, Mel? Is there anything in particular that you try to do? You basically said center, but I just wanted to make sure in case there was something that I'd missed.
Just sleep, rest, try not to get sick myself.
Got it.
Take care of my kids because we still have 2 little kids at home. One's in 1st grade, the other one was in preschool. So just having to make that switch from nurse and now home life and having to deal with that. And it's hard. I'm not a teacher.
Yeah, I got you.
Shout out to all those awesome teachers there. There's a reason why you guys
are
awesome.
Love you, teachers. We need school to start immediately.
It's hard.
Immediately.
It's really hard.
I'm playing around, man. I mean, I didn't know how much I loved and didn't love my children. It was like, what in the world? Yeah, teachers, please. We need to love you too. Okay, Mel, we're going to take a quick game time spot here. So let's do this, my friends. I want you to play along with us as we do our love one, leave one time. All right. So while we're playing, I want you to go ahead and just type in your love one, leave one comments inside of our comment chat box. Melanie, I've got 1.5 minutes to take you through some options that you have. Love one, leave one. Are you ready to go?
Sure.
When I give you the options, as fast as you can, I need you to tell me which one you'll love or which one you'll leave. And we'll try to get through as many of these within 1.5 minutes as we can. Melanie Taimi. Are you ready?
No echo?
Ready.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Breathe in. 1.5 minutes. Here we go. Ready? I'm gonna start it easy for you so that you can warm up to this game. Here we go. Let me get this set. All right. go. Early morning, late evenings.
Late evenings?
Yep. Early morning, late night. Which one?
Late night. I'm not a
Oh,
morning
good
person.
one. Rice or noodles?
Ooh, noodles.
Oh. Pants or skirts?
Ah,
Come
skirts.
on. Dress up or laid back?
Laid back.
Dwayne Johnson or Jason Momoa? Oh.
You know.
Both.
Momoa. Both.
Hawaii or Disneyland?
Ah, you're rude.
Come on, girl.
I can't. Both.
Both? No, you gotta choose one. Come on, you gotta leave one.
You're so rude.
You gotta say goodbye.
Since Disneyland is technically closed, Hawaii's still partially open. Hawaii.
Nice. Costco or Target? Costco or Target?
Ooh, Target.
Okay. Daiso or Boba?
Oh, boba.
Oh, Mulan or Jasmine?
Mulan?
Cinderella or Snow
Cinderella.
White? Oh, nice. Christmas or Disneyland?
Oh, you're rude.
I
You can't
know.
use it twice.
Hurry, you got 20 seconds. Go.
Christmas.
Power Rangers or Sailor Moon?
Ooh, Sailor Moon.
Justin Timberlake or Trevor Noah? Ooh.
Justin Timberlake.
All right. You did it, my girl. You got through it. You got
You're so
through it.
mean. Why would you do that to me?
Because I'm your husband and I can. Thank you very much. Praise the Lord. I hope you guys had a chance to pop on some of these answers. Donovan is flexing, man. He moves through this stuff. I hope you all got a chance to jump on and play the love one, leave one as well. Let's get back to some of these questions. Mel, when did you want to become a nurse? Like, where does this dream come from? When did you just say, hey, dude, this is what I want for my life?
Filipino. Genetic. It's innate, ingrained into your brain.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I was slightly racist.
Probably just growing up, going to the hospital, visiting my mom there. Just being around a lot of healthcare workers. I have plenty of family members also in the hospital setting working. So I think I remember one time I went to go visit my mom when I was little, and I sat next to the monitor tech, like just looking at all the EKG rhythms. Back then I just saw green lines. So just wanting to know, like very intrigued in what all those meant, and wanting to know what they were for. So that was probably one of the earlier memories. And then more so when dealing with my grandma who had a stroke. She was living with us and I had to help take care of her. I had to give her medications and even have to give her insulin when I was in high school. So not knowing what exactly I was doing, and just thinking if I had known more, if there was anything I could have done to prevent her passing. So yeah.
There's a power in multi-generational homes, and we've kind of lost that beauty because we've become so individualistic and trying to move into our own homes. But our children and we become such better human beings because we learn empathy for different generations. And I believe that's something that we need to think about as a church as well, to create healthy multi-generational communities where we learn to take care of each other and love each other, right? If everyone had, I believe, somebody like your grandmother living with them, they'd be more empathetic to wearing masks possibly and, and staying safe. Not because they're going to get sick, but because they know someone they love might get sick. And so, yeah, thanks for that. I know your grandmother and you were very close. She had passed away just before we really started dating, and you were dealing with that emotional vacuum. And so, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. I was also lucky on my part because I got to be a part of your support team, and yeah, later on we just got married because you were like, dude, this guy's cool. I know. Thanks, Melanie. Well, welcome on everybody. If you're catching up with us, I am with the beautiful and awesome Melanie Taimi, registered nurse over at the White Memorial Medical Center ICU COVID unit. So you said part of that is your mom, right? Your mom, growing up around your mom and being in the medical field. Your mom right now actually also is a nurse working in the COVID unit at another hospital. Is that right?
Yes. So she works at Beverly Hospital.
Beverly, shout out to Beverly.
She was in the Philippines for a while and actually kind of got stuck there. Um, Even though I wanted her home, I was glad she was stuck on that island because at least I knew she was safe.
Yeah.
And I wanted her kept there. But since she's come back, she's had to go back to work. So dealing with the same kind of thing. And now I have to worry about her. So
Yeah. Do you know what the situation's like over at her COVID unit over at her hospital?
as far as I know, they also still have a steady amount of COVID patients. So
Well, why ICU? Because nurses, there's a lot of different positions for nurses when you're coming into the calling. So why did you decide on the ICU? Were you just amped for that?
So honestly, ICU scared me. Critical care freaked me out. I was actually wanting to go into telemetry and probably maybe work my way up there eventually, but they weren't hiring at the time, and ICU, a new grad program, was the only spot open. So I took it to get in,
Nice.
and it terrified me so much. After orientation, I remember crying every day for at least 2 weeks straight. Like, what am I going to do if I'm not going to be here? Like, I've always wanted to be a nurse. Now, where am I going to go?
Right.
And everyone kept encouraging me to just give it a year, stick it out for a year, and then decide then. And it really took about, honestly, a year to where it dawned on me and hit me that I made it, I survived,
Right.
and I do love it. And I like it and I love it now. So I couldn't imagine having gone anywhere else.
Brave.
I love what I do.
So if you could give maybe a word of encouragement or advice or counsel to somebody who is going through nursing school right now, maybe they've got like just a few more quarters left, maybe another year, or maybe somebody who just started, is a preceptee, maybe one of your preceptees who's coming in and they're like trying to push through and they're not feeling so steady about what they're doing. What like words of encouragement or inspiration would you give them?
Probably just don't give up. It's hard. It's hard and daunting in the beginning, but you'll get there. You won't know everything in the beginning. You'll think that you don't know anything, but just keep pushing through. And really, if you don't like where you're at least give it a year. I think that was really good advice that I had gotten. And just have a good support system, so that you have someone to talk to about that. And real life isn't textbook. So
No, it rarely is it?
So googly eyed and it just smacks you in the face. So
Pastors are the same. I mean, we think like we coming out of school, we like, man, I'm gonna preach one good sermon and everybody gonna give their life to Jesus. Praise the Lord. And then like 6 years later, you're like, I hate my life and I hate my congregation. Like, it's the same. Like we get kind of caught up in that whole. What's your PPE situation? For as we were watching what was happening out in NYC, a lot of the stories had to kind of center around PPE and the lack thereof. So as Air had asked earlier on, what are the PPE? What does PPE stand for? And what is it like at your station?
So PPE is personal protective equipment. So it's basically it includes like from the hair cap to the gloves, the gowns, the goggles, the shoe covers. In the beginning, they were really rationing what they were sending to the units. So we'd have to make sure we weren't wasting, sometimes reusing the stuff that we had, saving it for a longer time than normal. And like every day going in, you don't know if you have enough equipment. So a lot of people started ordering stuff online to keep themselves protected.
I
Like
ordered you a
face
couple
shields.
welding masks. I was like,
Yeah, but
you went in
online
the
they either
hospital like you were
jacked
a
up the
welder.
prices, or it took a really long time to come in. So thankfully, our hospital has been able to secure equipment to keep us protected. So far, we've been okay, and doctors as well. So doctors have been getting donations from other people. Oscar
Yeah.
De La Hoya donated
Ooh,
money
Oscar De La
sometimes,
Hoya, give me a holler,
or
bro.
one. And I heard that Sandra Bullock even donated masks to our
Hello,
hospital.
Sandra.
So just thankfully we've been good on that end and haven't run out.
That's some pretty big names, man. They're giving some love, and really, I mean, that really helps out. Even the governor spotlighted you guys a few times, and you were actually on one of the governor's videos. Not governor, I'm sorry, the Mayor
Mayor.
Garcetti, where he featured you and a few other nurses talking about the importance of this kind of stuff. Man, that's pretty cool. How did they call you, or did you have to try out like the voice and like they were sitting in a seat backwards and
And then the mayor turned around and spun for me. No,
yeah,
he just my manager had asked me. He had chose me and asked me if I could do a video for the mayor. So
that's pretty cool. Mayor, call us. Mayor Garcetti, looking at you, bro. Give us a call. Okay, let's play another quick game, and then we're going to close out because we're getting close to the end of our time. Everyone, thank you so much. I am with the glamorous, beautiful Melanie Taimi, registered nurse at the White Memorial Medical Center ICU, sharing her experiences with us. We're going to play one more game together, and then we're going to close out. We've got just a couple more questions left. But if you have a question for her or a comment or something you'd like to share, please feel free to hit us up, drop it in the comments. All right. Now here we're going to play the Marry One, Date One, and Ghost One. I want you to play along. Give us what your options would be if you had to. Marry One means that thing is permanent in your life, Melanie. Date One means I can have that thing occasional, and then Ghost One means I'm never having that in my life again. Like I'm making an intentional decision. Never again will it happen. Okay, are you ready? Marry
sure.
One, Date One, Ghost One. Okay, think about these options before you give us your answer. Your dad's cooking,
Ooh.
Asian food, all Asian food, or desserts, all desserts, anything with sweet and sugary kind of stuff. Date one, marry one, ghost one. Go.
So I'd marry my dad's cooking because he could cook a plethora of things, including dessert.
All right.
So date dessert and ghost
You would
Asian
ghost
food.
Asian food? Ladies and
Because my dad
gentlemen,
could cook it.
please.
So
No,
my
he's
dad
not cooking Asian food. He'll cook everything but Asian food.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, please let this be on the official record. Melanie is willing to ghost all Asian food. That's like Japanese
I think
sushi.
we're losing reception, Nikki.
It's going. It's gone. Chris Mack says, how do you deal with Icky's ridiculous jokes? My jokes are great, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Mack is the only person who Melanie laughs at every joke that he puts out, good or bad. They're usually really bad dad jokes.
Funny.
Melanie laughs at every one of them. He asks, how do you put up with my ridiculous jokes?
Ooh, prayer. Just
I hate
kidding.
you.
I
but
love
I
him.
love you.
I love him.
Okay, marry one, date one, ghost one. Raises,
What?
being off every weekend, no oral secretions. You got to date one, you got to marry one, and you got to ghost one.
Marry the Rays, date the
Praise
off
the
every
Lord.
weekend, and no oral secretions.
So that means you get oral secretions all the time now,
What?
because no oral secretions mean that you'll never have to deal with it. But if you're ghosting that means like every day you come in, your life is full of oral
That
secretions.
was a trick.
Congratulations!
Trick question.
You win,
You
Melanie!
failed.
Okay, last one. Marry one, date one, ghost one. Being kind, being smart, being funny.
Ooh. Being kind for sure, marry.
All right. I knew I
People
married
don't
you
care
first.
if you're smart or not. Being
Yeah, they
kind.
do.
What was the other one?
Be
Kind,
kind, be
smart,
smart, or be funny.
funny. Maybe kind, smart, then funny.
Nice,
Oh, that's a
nice,
hard
nice.
one. How do you come up with these things? You're so fired.
Because I love you, honey. I want you to work for your money. Work for your money.
You're not paying me for this.
Pay nobody. People, you come on here and I got no money to give you. So thank you for just
Uh,
volunteering your time and sharing your positive narrative, man. Praise Jesus. I'm so broke. Okay. Melanie, can I borrow $20? Actually, it's one of my questions.
I'll have Michaela Apple pay me some of your money again.
Give us three COVID hacks. If something that we could tangibly do that will, help us and those around us.
COVID hacks?
Yeah. Give us three hacks that will help people as they're dealing with the COVID. Like, three pieces of good advice or two.
Wear your mask
Wear
for
your
sure.
mask.
One thing.
Cool.
So people complain about not being able to breathe. It's filtering out oxygen, CO2.
Right.
It's really not. It's a piece of cloth. What it is filtering is when you wear the mask for a while,
Yeah.
that moistness
That
in your
funk.
mask that sits there. So that's what you're filtering, so it doesn't get to other people, and so you don't get other people's droplets as well. That's what they're calling the droplets. So
Got it.
if you want a visual, it's that moisture that's coming out of your mouth. It's not like you're spitting in people's faces. It's that moisture from you just breathing or speaking.
And that
keeping
moisture is natural, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's what happens to us. And that the funk, is that natural? That it.
You can help that if you brush your teeth
Right. Okay.
regularly.
Cool. So just to be clear, wearing a mask is actually a good thing because
Yes.
it keeps your droplets to you, or it helps keep droplets to you, thus decreasing the chance of someone else being exposed
It
to your
doesn't
droplets.
100%
Not 100%.
keep you protected, but it minimizes the amount of droplets you put out there and how much might get to you.
Yeah. That's important for people to hear. And you're not somehow poisoning yourself with CO2 by wearing these masks.
No.
Okay. Just want to clarify that, my friends, as you're going out into this world. Hey, wear a mask. It's not going to kill you, and you might be helping someone else, especially if you're asymptomatic. I liken these kind of issues to Christians. Like, Christians should be the best at this kind of stuff because we believe that the Word tells us to put others before ourselves. We believe that we're supposed to sacrifice ourselves for others, and that we see others above us. Paul says this. Jesus says this. It's over and over. So wearing a mask really. I hear people's, well, I'm a grown up and I should be able to decide this. And, I don't need to be uncomfortable. But as a Christian, we sideline our comfort for other people's health. And if there's a possibility that you can help someone, if there's a possibility that someone might be better off because you wear the mask, at least temporarily in this time, why not do it? Let's be good Christians. Amen. Amen, Melanie.
Amen.
You look the same way while I'm preaching in real life, like the same way, man. I was just like looking at you like, oh yeah, amen. Yeah, true. So come on, my friends, let's put those masks on. Number one, what's another thing we could do during this time?
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Cool.
Use soap and water.
Very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna move ahead. We've only got two more questions here that I want us to put out into the world. Number one. Can you share a story that for you has probably you've been dealing with in the ICU with the COVID that it has been it's touched your spirit, like it's been tough, maybe a little bit of struggle through that, caused some pain. Can you share if there was any stories that you might have of that?
Probably, I think one of the hardest things that I've experienced so far during this was we had a patient coming in, elderly man. He was already on a ventilator and he was still awake, so still pretty aware of what was happening. He wasn't doing well, that's why he got transferred to us. And I remember him having to start an IV on him. I was like holding his arm and trying to find that vein, and he kept moving around, and I thought he was trying to like reach to pull off his wires or anything. But he had grabbed my hand and he just held it for a while, and just a thought did cross my mind that that my hand could be the last hand he holds while he's still awake. You know, these people get really sick, and it's really lonely for these patients because families aren't allowed to come in. They're only allowed to come in on rare, certain circumstances, probably towards the end of life already. So they might not be aware that they're there. And if they do come, they can only stand at the window and not for very long. So it's really lonely for a lot of these patients. A lot of them are just scared, the ones that are still awake. That's the sense that I've been getting from them. And just, you know, trying to comfort them because, you know,
it's a lonely disease.
Yeah, I try to be hopeful. I try to give them hope, but, you know, in the end, I'm not 100% sure if they'll make it out or not.
Yeah, for sure. So as to not end our time together here on a down note, can you share with us maybe something inspirational or something, an experience that you had there that was like really encouraging, that we could take with us when we leave this place?
Ooh. I think one encouraging story was it's really hard for us in the ICU because when we don't really get to see a lot of patients go home from our unit, they either get downgraded to another unit. When they leave our unit, they either get downgraded or they pass. So we don't get to see the positive outcomes or how many people go home. But the hospital has been playing a little blurb of Happy by Pharrell. So when they play that over the speaker system, then we kind of get encouraged, like, oh, someone made it out today or whatnot. But I think one of the most inspiring stories was probably was from one of our own nurses that happened to be on our unit for a while and in the hospital from COVID. And he was there over a month, I'd say. And wow. Just someone had recorded him leaving. So just that joy of him finally making it out of the hospital, because, you know, everyone wants to see that they make it out. And you never know. There was a scary time where it could have gone either way. And same thing with a lot of these patients. Like, they might be getting better, and then all of a sudden they just crash. Wow. But just seeing those people that do make it out, and just the joy on their faces of going home. Another video of another staff member that we had, when she got out to the main entrance, her husband just came out and held her because he wasn't able to come and see her. Like, it's hard. Like, we're a community of people that want to be together, and her own husband couldn't come see her or comfort her. So just when she got out, you know, they wheeled her out to the car, and just seeing him hold her for quite a while was, it made me cry. So, you know, there are people making it out, which is hopeful. So just be careful.
Well, I think that was beautiful. I hope you guys took some meaningful things from our time together today. Melanie, I want to thank you so much for coming on with me. I know how awkward and uncomfortable this can be for you, but you braved it out and you shared some just great things. And I hope that everyone is a little more understanding towards our nurses and understanding towards this COVID situation. I know it's not ideal for anyone, but if we're doing this together, if we work together, we live together, we live together. So, you know, I couldn't play Pharrell's song because it's copywritten. I did want us to dance out on our way out today. So instead of Pharrell, I thought I'd bring on some other music, some dance happy music that you and I could dance out on. My friends, you can dance out with us too as we close out here. Let's go. All right. Come on, honey, dance with me. Dance with me. Hey, so at this time, we want to thank you guys so much for living and spending time with Tuesday Tunes, Tuesday Tea Time. Don't forget, let's not live in fear. Let's live in compassion, live fully, live safely, live for today and for tomorrow. And when in doubt, always, always, always live with compassion as your compass. God bless you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday on YouTube.